Hey there, and welcome to Hot Seat. And we are here to explore the reasons of why. What's the why? What's the purpose? What drives business owners to do what they do? If it's what you're looking for, to get motivated, well, we look forward to sharing this episode with you. I'm your host, Kelvin Holiday, and I am enjoying the fact that we can explore people's why and motivate others. So stay tuned for this exciting new episode. 15 minutes, fast paced. Let's do it. Well, hey again, here we are back for another episode of Hot Seat. I hope you've been enjoying these shows and you've liked and subscribed. And this is really about you. This is about how you can actually overcome some of those challenges through the inspiration of others. So today we have somebody that's very unique, very special in the area. When we talk about blockages and we talk about having to communicate and to break through some barriers, particularly in sales area, that we get some blockages there, and he helps people to overcome those blockages and to communicate. So, Surayansh, come on down into the hot seat, buddy.
Hey, Kel, excited to be here. Hello, listeners. How are we?
Beautiful, mate. We've had quite a few conversations these last few months, and I love what you do. But today is really about you. All right? We're going to peel back some layers and get to know you. So we know you come from another. I'm an Australian. A lot of people here are Australian, but they're all over the world. So tell us maybe a little bit about your cultural history, family, and also maybe a little bit about your career. Where's that taking you, and where are you at now?
Absolutely. So I'm from Delhi in India originally. That's where I was brought up for the first 20 years of my life, give or take. I was very fortunate to grow in a business family, which was surrounded by multiple businesses, from tech to chemical factory to manufacturing. All our relatives, friends, everyone was in business. So even though as a kid, I wasn't contributing to it, but as a kid does, I was absorbing all the dinner table discussion and social gathering discussions, which were always about business problem solving and taking business to the next level. I was in the comfort zone, and I actually, in my adolescent years, I was looking for my own identity. What can I do? What I want to do, etc., outside this comfort zone. So, as you can imagine, as a kid, even though you're not contributing to those business discussions, you're absorbing everything that's around you.
Yeah.
So, all those discussions were about new business challenges and new business aspirations and how to access those and work towards those. So, uh, so it was a phenomenal upbringing. Didn't realize, that at the time. But as I was growing up, I was looking for my own identity and what I can do on my own outside this comfort zone. So I started to ask my parents to let me be on my own and do something different. And obviously they didn't like the idea because they needed someone to carry on, their current businesses and in the family, and they would like me to be around. So I went to my dad's manufacturing plant for 18 months to slowly convince him to let me out to study overseas. And that's where in year 99, I came to Melbourne. Within the first month, I started my first sales journey with one of the largest telecommunication companies. Didn't realize became the national top salesperson there, and did it again with another telecommunication company, and then got picked up by Sony and Samsung to be one of their only two national distributors. I took that business to another level, doing a lot of B2B stuff. And then ran multiple businesses of my own, small businesses, supported other businesses through acquisitions, IPOs, takeovers, all that sort of stuff. And about 7 years ago, went full time, offering my learning of having worked with 100 plus businesses globally through the banner of Founders Go2, which is my consulting business, where we focus on revenue problem solving primarily. So anything to do with sales conversion, lead generation, that sort of stuff. So that's where we play. So that's a little bit of a history of, my, I guess, cultural background, upbringing, and what I do now.
Yeah, and I think what you're saying here is, and this is something that's not common within a lot of entrepreneurs, different cultures, and I'd say this probably pretty common within Australia. A lot of people, Australians are typically, get a job, the culture was, get your education, get a job, stay in your job for 50, 60 years or whatever it takes, and then you retire and you go on your pension and that's it. And so lately, the whole entrepreneurial, so the last probably 20 odd years, there's been the rise of the entrepreneurial journey. And yeah, so it's been a shift, but it sounds like in some respects, you've been in that entrepreneurial journey from birth, which is a really cool space to be.
Absolutely. Can't thank my family enough for that exposure.
Yeah. So that is great. And yeah, but families are families, aren't they? They always want you to take over the family business, and but you broke out of that. So tell me, like, through that, I can imagine that you've seen with all these family businesses and interrelations, and also yourself. I can imagine there's been some challenges at times.
Yeah.
Like there's been, in your family business or even in the businesses you've seen. So what may be some of those challenges, and more importantly, what have been the ways that you guys have been able to cope and be able to pull through some of those challenges?
Yeah. Having run multiple businesses on my own and having supported 100 plus businesses, I stopped counting after. There is no mainstream challenge that I haven't seen, from cash flow to not being able to the wrong product market fit, to not being able to convert sales even with a great product, to not know how to price your product, not knowing what region to go into, how to diversify, when to pivot. Obviously, we also COVID and how businesses, well, went upside down, a lot of in a lot of industries, and grew like crazy beyond control in some of the other industries. So I think we've all seen a fair share of challenges. Um, the other question you asked is very interesting, is how does one handle these challenges? Obviously, each of these challenges have a specific solution. It's very contextual, it's very scenario based. But if I could say something, um, something to keep for people to keep in their toolkit that will be of value, it would be make a decision at that point in time. Make a small positive decision at that time. If you've hit a roadblock, the decision can be as small as, okay, I need to pause and go for a 15-minute, half an hour walk. I need to take a weekend off and just, look at things. I need to seek out help from an expert outside. I need to interview some of my clients or prospects of what worked, what didn't work. I need to look at competition. I need to, read a book, or, write something, to get it all out, sort of thing. So just make a small positive decision. Um, don't make any big decisions in that emotional state. It's never healthy. So as long as you're making a small decision, a positive, it's going to help you come out of the negative emotional state. And as soon as you're out, you can already start to make better decisions and look things as they are, rather than with bias and preferences and fear and emotions. So hopefully that helps the listeners.
It does, yeah, and that, as you said, it's about healthy emotions. Like you get that space where stress is normal, but how you cope with that stress. How do you deal with that in put a bit of logic in there and trying to suppress the reactive mode. So yeah, cool. So, mate, family wise, so you say you come from a family. Any family here in Australia with you at the moment, and how is that? How does that impact within and even your friendships? Now, how do you find that impacts when you're in your social environments as opposed to maybe when you were a kid? Might have been a little bit different.
Yeah, so I have my wife and two kids, lovely family. We're very well bonded. My son is 20-year-old, turning 20 soon. My daughter is 15, turning 16 soon. And we'll have a lot of dinners together. and still spend time together, play board games and things like that. We
Mm.
enjoy each other's company and we spend a fair bit of time when we can, all that sort of stuff. So really love it. Um, Obviously living in Australia, I'm away from me and my wife's family, and staying connected with them is always challenge, and we try to make the trips we can, and our parents are getting older both sides, so it's harder for them to make the trips, but um uh, I've got amazing set of friends to fill in for the distant family, and we have our share of fun and joy, and yeah, I think if you're in the right headspace and emotional space and energy space, you attract the right type of people, may it be relatives and friends. So I've been fortunate so far, and I hope that continues, and you're part of that group, Kel. So yeah.
Oh, mate, yeah, our relationship, our friendship, mutual admiration, working a treat, my friend. But I think, yeah. So you were talking about, yeah, your how you grew up and you really love that business sort of conversation in the family home. Have you carried that on into your family? Because I know I know in my family they didn't really want to know about my business. All right, they just wanted to know that there was money in the bank and that I could spend time with them. They weren't really worried about the business as such. So are you finding that's a little bit different now than it was when you were growing up?
Yeah, absolutely. I guess when I was growing up, also due to the cultural influence from India, there was an expectation that the son will, continue the business and will be part of it. And there wasn't even a consideration, just out of naivety, that I might want to do something different. I may not want to go into the business. And that's their way of showing love. Like everything they've built, they would want to pass it on to me.
Yeah.
So I have a comfortable life, but my comfort was in knowing that I'm capable of doing something, and
Yes.
that's how I stepped out. And this is what I'm trying to instill in my kids as well, which is being independent. I don't want to push
Mm.
down my choices on my kids. If I can help them learn one skill, that would be how to survive, sustain, and progress independently through
Yeah.
challenges, emotional upheavals, all the ups and downs that we see. Because if I can just do that for them or influence that in them, then regardless of whether they're working for someone else or doing their own business or the industry they're in or what happens in future, they'll always come out good, sort of thing. So yes, it's
Healthy.
yeah, healthy. So it's completely, I guess, the opposite way of raising it, and it was amazing what my parents did for me at the time, and I'm trying to do the best with my kids too. So yeah.
Yeah. And I think in our modern day culture, the idea of legacy, all right, legacy doesn't mean carry on the same business. It means maybe carry on the same values and
Uh,
principles. There's been that little bit of a shift. It's a minor shift, but it's a very impactful shift. Rather than saying here's the family business, that's the legacy. It's what is the heart and soul behind that process which is what I'm hearing from you. You're passing on the heart and soul of the principle rather than the actual business itself.
yeah, you summed it really well, and I feel that's the most important piece. If they have the right
Yeah,
values and attitude, then they can work through the challenges in whatever context they're in.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mate, been awesome. We're going to start the wrap up now, and I'm going to ask you, what is your one hot seat, hot tip that you can give people when they're having the challenge, when they're out there, whatever it might be? What is just something you can leave them as a little gold nugget to think about? How do you inspire them to move on?
So one of the big problems when we are stuck in an issue that stirs us emotionally, financially, or any other way, we actually tend to dwell on it. And like I
Yeah.
covered in my past response, the best thing you can do at that point in time, that is a game changer, is make a small positive decision. And as little as going for a walk, speaking to a friend, getting some help, taking a weekend off, going for a swim, whatever you enjoy doing, just force yourself to make that small positive decision. And that will help you, come in a better emotional state, a more balanced state, to then be able to actually look at other options to solve problem. The other thing I would add is just look at your past and other people's past and know that whatever the challenges are that seem so big and huge at this point in time, they're only temporary. The good thing with time is it does pass. It's also the bad thing that we cannot have it back, but it does pass. So if you're in a challenging situation, you know that it's also temporary. And that realization at that point sort of eases the pressure we put on ourselves to actually solve the problem, like right now, right then. So we are in challenging times, and I think just by making small positive decisions and knowing that these things are temporary allows us to be more balanced when looking at these problems and tackling them. So that's what I do.
Mate, and you probably got that idea of the swim from a conversation we had just the other day. It's exactly what I do. When I'm sitting here at the desk and I get a block, I go, oh, geez, I'm just going to jump out, go out and jump on the pool, go for a swim, clear the head. And it's amazing. You just come back, that little positive, I'm just going to look after myself, turn off the brain for 5 minutes and everything comes clear again. It's just, absolute gold nugget there, buddy. Absolute gold nugget, folks, about how to just take some time. Surayansh, it has been awesome. And it really has been great just to unpack a little bit about you. And I'm looking forward to getting you to come back and everything onto a tool time where we can explore and we get back down into, what is it you do and how do you help those people, to communicate better and to work their way through some of the blockages that they might have to make those small positive steps would be awesome. So been a pleasure, buddy, having you.
Yeah, likewise. I've really enjoyed it and always enjoy chatting to you, and looking forward to continue our relationship and friendship.
Fantastic. Well, folks, that is another episode of Hot Seat. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. Please make sure you like and subscribe and come back again next week for another episode of Hot Seat. Until then, see you all later. Thanks for joining us here at Hot Seat. It's been an amazing, amazing event. It is a place where you can actually enjoy and be inspired by the why of others, the drive of the purpose and the passion. Please like and share this podcast with as many people as you can to inspire them to make a difference in this world. Have an awesome day. Unleash.